Hello, my friends. Happy Monday. I feel like I haven't been here in forever, and for that, I'm sorry. Things have just been a bit hectic around here. But I've been busy making card SVGs for you, and I've been sharing them, but I just haven't been here to chat. So let me know when you're here. I'm going to watch my Facebook page and make sure that it shows up. I'm trusting that Facebook finds us. Yep, it says I'm live now. So cool. All right. I hope it told you that, but I know that I'm here. So good. All right. Tonight I have a fun card to show you, and I'm giving you a sneak peek of a new paper pack that's coming November 1st. And you're thinking, well, why are you showing it to me now? Well, because I want you to kind of get ready and think about, do you really need it? This is a close to my heart paper pack called Silver Bells. You'll notice there's no bells on this particular card, but we'll talk about it when I'll show you how to use them. The other thing I want to show you is what I do for myself. I make myself, let me pick it up so I can show you, a pack of paper ready to cut card SVGs with. And then it just makes it, I'm not cutting things down. I'm not wasting a whole sheet. I use my Cricut Joy because I love it. But you can use your regular maker as well, but you don't need a whole sheet of paper to do one card. Now, I like to do my cards as I go. I've tried both ways. I've tried telling Cricut, go ahead and cut 4 of them at once. I don't know if it takes longer, but in my brain it feels like it takes longer. I'm watching it cut the page, and then I have to put in. With the Joy, it goes like super quick. I just love it. So anyway, if you don't have a Cricut Joy, or you have one that you think, well, I don't know, and then remember the Cricut Joy had the really funky. I'm looking to see if I had one. Oh, I do have one. The funky mat. What this does, and you don't need this to cut my SVGs, although I'm thinking about doing some that you could, but right now you don't. What this does is you take a card, and can you see it's got this slide, like this pocket, right? This part's sticky, but the underneath isn't. And you just slide your card, the back of your card in here, and then Cricut's going to cut on this, which is sticking, but it's not cutting the inside of the card that's in there. But I don't particularly like those designs. I don't. So the ones that you'll see on in Design Space already that use it like that, I don't really like that. That's just me. So I've designed my own because, I never do what, I can't do it that way. So let me bring you to the easiest way to find anything that I'm sharing with you tonight is karamiller.com. Once you get there, you'll see links to Card SVGs. And when you click on that, it will bring you into the store, which is right here. Looks similar to the page. And if you scroll down, you can see this is the one that I'm going to share with you tonight. And when you click on that, it brings you to this page where I have one photo of a card. The rest are showing you what they look like in Design Space. Okay? I have to ask you too. I have had someone who supposedly knows more than me tell me that my cards shouldn't show the Cricut Joy in the background, that it should just show the card fancy schmancy pretty. I kind of personally, and the reason I do it is to show you that the Cricut Joy is an option with this card. If you don't know what the Cricut Joy is, then you don't know. But if you know, you know when you look at this picture that I use the Joy with it. But tell me what you think in the comments. Let me know. With the Joy, without the Joy for my photos. distracting? Would you rather a bigger photo of the card? The other item I was criticized for, well, I asked for the critique. It's not like someone just randomly came to me. She said that she didn't understand that she got more than one card. I don't think this person ever shopped for SVGs, so she's probably not one of my customers. So I don't know how valid her opinion was. Anyway, so she said I should put a picture of all the cards first, and then together, like a group of everybody. Okay. So anyway, I love your feedback because you're the ones looking at them. So you let me know what you think. I'm going to bring you down and we are going to actually do some card making. I'm going to do two things though. Let me get in here to Cricut. And let me give you both of these. I want Cricut and I want you and I want to get rid of you. Okay. So when you get your SVGs from the store, you're going to download them. They come, I don't zip mine. When you purchase them on Etsy, they are zipped because that's the way Etsy likes it. But when you buy them from my store, thecaramiller.com, yes, they are in Etsy. But when you buy them from caramiller.com, they come in one card at a time and you can download them. A couple of reasons. It takes you a few more minutes, seconds to download each one, but then you can label it yourself. You know what you're getting. You don't have to unzip it. I like that better. Again, you get to tell me if you think, no, I would really rather have them all zipped together. I could do that too. So you could have two options. I'm open for suggestions here. Clearly, I'm opening the door for people to tell me they want 7 things. But it's always fun to hear what you think. It doesn't mean I'm going to change my world, but it's cool. All right, so we bring them in. You have to, the reason I don't think the zip is necessarily helpful is Design Space only lets me upload them one at a time anyway. So I've uploaded all 6 of the one that are in this bundle. P.S. If you like that bundle, remember that bundle is in the store. If you like that bundle, use the coupon code TRYUS and you will save $1 on your order, which doesn't sound like a lot, but orders are only $5, but the bundles are only $5. So it's TRYUS, all one word. I don't know if you need to capitalize the U. If it gives you a hard time, then capitalize the U and else. I don't know if it matters. Sorry. I tried it and it seemed like it was okay. I tried it with all capitals and it seemed like it was okay, but if it gives you a hard time, let me know. It'll save you $1. Actually, on anything in the store. I didn't make it specific to just that bundle. So the card that I'm using tonight is this one right here. Is the one that's already made. And then I have this and this one. So I'm going to add this one and this one to my canvas. Okay, so we can take a peek. So when you look at the canvas, and some of you might be saying, well, can't you just cut it out now? When I try and cut it out when I'm live, it really stutters and it makes it deliver really badly. Design Space just doesn't do it. It's not good. So I pre-cut things before I come to you live so that you don't have to deal with that craziness. But I want to show you how they come in and what are some of the things that you could do. So they come in as a group. That's 1. Here's 2. And here's the one that I showed you, the finished card. So let's take these guys over here and I am going to just turn your eye off on that one for a minute and turn this one off for a minute so we're not distracted. Okay, so we've got this one, right? Let's take a look at this. If you click on this card base, you will see that it's 4 by 5 1/4. Well, the interesting thing with that is you could just use a trimmer and cut it. It is a layer. Design Space will cut it for you. But for me, sometimes I think it's just easier to cut it myself. Let me show you how I set up my paper. So let's say, I'm going to grab a 12 by 12 so I can show you from that point because I've already cut these. But let me just grab that. Hold on. And I want want to grab one that you can see really well. So let's say I start with a 12 by 12. Now this paper pack that I'm showing you I used the pattern paper, and then I also got the coordinating cardstock that went along with it. So when I cut my paper, my 12 by 12, to make my little kit here, I cut 4.5 strips, 4.5, 4.5, and then it will leave me this piece over here, right? And then I'll have the same thing, and then I cut, so then it's 12 by 4.5. Why do I do 4.5 when it could be 4.25? Well, because sometimes we don't need the 4.25, and we're going to cut. It gives you the most flexibility. That's the width of the Cricut Joy mat, is 4.5 by 6.5. We don't ever need it to be 6.5 because we're using A2 size cards, which means 4.5 by 5.5, right? Okay, that's why I use a Cricut, because all this math stuff makes my head hurt. So anyway, I cut these into strips, 2 cuts down, and then 1 across at 6 inches for everybody. And then I end up with this great collection of double-sided paper. I also did the same thing with the coordinating cardstock. So now I have this array of cardstock. Remember, Close to My Heart cardstock has 2 shades, a light and a dark. So I have light and dark, 3 different colors that go with these silvers. I'm saying silver and gold. It's maybe silver and bronze. And white. I use white to stamp on generally for that layer. All right, enough about how I prep the paper. So what I was talking about was that bottom layer, this one here, is 4 by 5.5. So I could take, this is one of my pre-cut 4.5 by 6, and I can trim this down to fit. I already did this one, so don't get confused. I take my 4.5 by 6 and I trim it down to 4.25 by 5.5. And so then when I put this in my card front, it fits perfect. So when I go to cut my layers in Design Space, I feel this is quicker with a trimmer. I give you that piece in Design Space, but you don't really need to cut it. You can just skip over that when Cricut gets to it and not do it. Is that confusing or is that okay? We got that? So that's the same on all the cards. They have that base layer. It's like building a sandwich. So let's look at this one so you can see it. This is the one that's in Design Space. This bottom one was the 4 by 5.25. The dark gray is actually, I'm going to ungroup these guys so I can take them apart for you. Turn you up. What did I do? I don't want you. Sorry, she's from a different card. I want you. There we go. I was doing it with my left hand. Sorry. I don't do anything good with my left hand. Let's take this all apart so we can see it. So we have this layer, that little circle we're going to stamp on. Then we have this frame layer that's going to just show everything off. I actually used an embossing folder and embossed this white layer to give us this kind of detail on the front frame. You could emboss it, you could stamp on it, you could use a pattern paper. Whatever you use for paper is what's going to give you your unique card. So we could all use the same SVG and it would look totally different because of how we're doing it, what we pick for papers or sentiment. Now, what if you have a stamp set that doesn't fit this circle. You could write on it with your Cricut. You could use a sticker from another set. You could, this does not have to be a Christmas theme, but it can be. So there's a lot of variety when you put these together. That's what I love about it. So this is the white layer. The gray layer in the picture is the gray layer on here. I'm going to show you on a card that's not together. And then we have the two pennants. And we simply just layer it all together like you're putting together a pizza. All right, so let's look at a different one. Come here, Cricut. Let's get you out of here. Let's get rid of this one. And then we're going to turn back on. Get rid of you two. We're going to turn you on. Okay, so we're going to look at this SVG. Let's click on it and ungroup it so I can take it apart for you. So we have this one and this one. This is the white frame layer. This is the layer that I'm going to cut with my trimmer. It's 4 by 5 1/4. And then this is a layer to stamp on. Now, a couple of things. Cricut cuts by color, right? So if I don't do anything, when I say make it, Cricut's going to put and try to put everything on a white layer. Now it thinks I'm using the Joy, so it's going to do the frame and this. Now remember I said I only cut my paper to 6 inches, so this one's not going to work for me. So I am going to cancel. I'm going to come back and I'm going to say, well, let me change the color on that. It'll just tell Cricut to put it on a different mat. Doesn't matter what color it is. I could change you to a different color since I'm going to use 2 different pattern papers. I could put the actual colors. It's totally up to you. But now when I say make it, Cricut's going to split these all up. So my frame, it thinks is white. I actually did my frame out of acorn. This was the 4. Hey, Susan, sorry. It worked for me on this end. Last week it didn't work for me and it worked for you. This is our 4 by 5 1/4. I used my trimmer. I just took this original and I cut off that piece and this piece, right? Which I could use for something else. You notice I didn't throw them in the trash. They're sitting over here because I'm going to use them somewhere. And then these, I actually cut out of one load of the mat. But because we have the double-sided paper, I just flipped one of them over. And now I'm ready to put it together. So I'm going to take this off for you. I'm going to get rid of you and bring you bigger. Make you go away. Make you go away. No, I want you. There. Okay? So that... Hi, Gwen. How are your simples go? Your card SVGs going? Did you get them together? Or at least cut out? I know you grabbed some earlier this week. If you do not grab the... This is my favorite. I love, love, love this value pack from Close to My Heart. It comes with envelopes and cards ready to go. 50 of them for $19.95. It's the best. I don't have to cut and score cards. They're all ready to go. So I use this all the time. I have several in my drawer. So I'm going to take my card. It's already pre-scored out of heavyweight cardstock. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this down. Awesome. Good, good. I'm going to put this layer down. This is that 4 by 5 1/4. And on virtually all simples, I'm going to say that, and then I keep saying simples too. They're simple cards. Virtually every card has that base. I'm going to say that, and we'll find an older one that doesn't. So if it doesn't, you can just cut yourself one. But I try to include that on all of them, so we're building all the cards the same way. Again, The easier I can make it for you, the easier it is. So again, I could use either side, but I'm going to go with a simpler one, not the diagonal. And I put that down, right? And you can eyeball it. There's no measuring, so that your spaces are all even, right? Then this is the next layer. And I like to think of this as like a puzzle backer. It shows me where things are going to go. I mean, I feel like it was supposed, no, that's right. And I can put that down now. I could elevate that using some foam if I wanted. I could ink it. I could emboss it. Remember on this one, I ran it through the embossing folder first. On tonight, I'm just going to put it down. So you just add a little bit of adhesive and you pop this on. Again, you're going to have a little bit of an edge around it to give it more definition. I love making layered cards. Then I could, again, do either side, but I like the way this one looks with the ornament. This could be inked around the edge and look really good. And this is going to go like this. Try them out first. See which one you like. And then this one goes here. I think I like it like that. I want this one down, and I'm going to use foam to pop this up a little. So if I were Debbie from Texas, I would be inking these little babies like crazy. And then I'm going to grab my foam dots. These are 3D foam dots from Close to My Heart. They're little circles. If you come to my house, you will see little white circle backings everywhere. On the dog's fur, on me. They're everywhere. I try and gather them. I still, somehow they're like confetti. They're everywhere. And then we're going to pop you in there. And here's a card that looks like, you know, super fussy cutting or die cutting a lot of things. It wasn't. It was super easy. Cricut just loaded it right in. I did this while I was waiting for dinner to get ready. And then this is going to get stamped on and go right there. And I don't know if this one's going to fit. Oh, it is. This is Warmest Wishes. This one is from, again, the stamp set that won't be here till November 1st. But this one is called, magically, I don't know what it is, Silver Bells card making. So what's nice about this is our sentiments are a little bit smaller. It does come with thin cuts if you like them. You don't, or you can do it without the thin cuts. But you'll notice they're good size for our cards. These stamps will fit on your cards. I could have used a plain paper and I could have stamped these bells on them. I could have turned my card this way and done my bells like that. Wouldn't that look cool done with heat embossing? The silver bell there, and then maybe the ornament down on this one, or this super ornament. So pretty. Okay, so there's that. But I didn't. I did it like this and let the pattern paper stand on its own. But I am going to use Warmest Wishes, and I'm just going to go with simple black. The intense black dries a little bit quicker, so for me, it's less messy. I've already used this stamp pad. No. The stamp, so I didn't need to wake it up. Remember, with Close to My Heart stamps, you need to wake them up before you use them. And you notice I have it on the little foam thingy that comes in the package that you think is packing material that you should throw away. Don't do that. It gives you a much better image when you stamp it if you use that little bit of foam. Super cool. Super easy. Again, I could ink everything around the edges if I wanted to. You know, this one's going to bug me as I say that like 3 times. I'm going to wish I did. So I'm going to pop it up and I'm going to ink it because it's making me nuts that I didn't. Acorn, come here. And I'm not going to get super carried away. I'm just going to rub it this way just to give it a little something. I want it to have a little more definition. But I don't want to get really messy. Yes, I know, that's my problem. I don't like to get messy. Oh, much better. And then I'm just going to roll you around so you have a little more definition as well. And pop, whoops, let's do it the right way. Pop you in right there. So there is that card. Depending on what I use for pattern paper or stamps, I can make it as quick as I want, or I can really foof it up. This kind of plays up the pattern paper that looks sort of antique-y. This kind of reminds me of something you'd find in an older card, an antique card. I need to add a little bling to it though, but the silver's too much. These are the Silver Bell Glimmer Dots. Again, this whole bundle won't be ready until November 1st. And I'm just going to do a couple of these in different sizes. They're very subtle, but you know, subtle's good. All right. And I'm going to put you over here. And let's do our last one. This is again from that same bundle. And I went with the silver this time. And I'm going to take the same card front. This is the reverse of the one that's on this card. Right? That's what was back here. I flipped it over and so we have a little darker. I've talked before about how I don't like to do, I like to do them one at a time. If you were going to do it so they were all the same, well then, okay, you might want to cut them out more than one at a time. This is kind of that puzzle backer. This goes right down. I'm going to put this down first so I don't lose it. And then I'm going to stamp on that white piece. I'm going to show you where it goes, but then we're going to stamp on it. And come on, little baby, get in there. This one's kind of skinny. She's a little trickier to work with. Honestly, little machine, don't give me a hard time, little buddy. There. Okay, and then you are going to go like this. Now if you think that's just too much, it's too much pattern, I don't like it, I'm more matchy-matchy, then you could go with a solid. Or you could flip it over and use the same one. It's not exactly perfect. See, it's got that little piece there. I'm going to go here and I'm going to love it. It's going to be fine. I wanted to show you the different pattern designs. That's going to go there. Then this is going to go right here, but I'm going to stamp on it. And then this is going to go in that corner. Okay? All right, so let's bring you out here and let's see what fits on you. Yep, my little bells are going to be fine. So I'm going to take my bells off and let's put them on here. Now this is what I said about waking it up. When you are going to use it the first time, you need to wake the stamp up so it accepts your ink. I like to use the back of my hand. Now, I don't want to do this once it has ink on it. You don't have to wake it up then. You're just waking it up for the very first time to get it to really take the ink. All right? And I'm not going to go with acorn. I'm going to go with my black. And the beauty of clear stamps is you can see through them to make sure that your stamp is covered evenly. Now you might look at this and think, well, that looks a little dark there. That's the shading the stamp has. So I'm going to work with it. I'm going to live with it and like it. I'm going to put that down. and commit. Oh, I love the detail. Wait a minute, I'll show you up close. Isn't it cool? And I could color it if I wanted, or I could just pop it on the way it is and let the stamp just stand on its own. But I could color in the stamp if I wanted. All right. So there is that. If I want to, I could stamp a sentiment on here. I could use the thin cut, this one, and I could do Season's Greetings or Wishing You Joy and add it. That would be cool. Wouldn't it be beautiful embossed? So many choices. All right, I'm going to go play some more, but I wanted to get you some cards to look at and start thinking. I want to see what these look like in totally different paper. So, happy card SVG making, and I promise I will be back more often. I'm sorry that I missed you last couple of weeks, but we are back to normal, I think. Have a great night, everybody. Bye.